Now we can just then go straight now into this thing about labor laws.
Yes.
And how you have, practiced it over time, either through in-house or, practice.
For me, my passion for labor laws, maybe to do a bit of background, comes from the fact that when I was still a student in Kwai, I could do a lot of internships with the trade unions. I did my first internship with the Kenya Hotel and Allied Workers Union.
Okay, when was this?
2015
Okay.
and 2016. Then when I was a second year, I also did an internship with Kenya County and Workers Union. So these are the people who had my skills in labor laws, and also I developed some interest in it. So I think we can start.
Okay.
Yes. So when I talk about labor laws refers to a body of legal rules which regulates the relationship between an employer and an employee, a corporation or company, or which has entered into a contract of service to employ any individual, and includes the agent, the foreman, a manager, or a factory, or such a person. There are several laws which govern labor laws in Kenya. We have the Constitution of Kenya 2010, Article 41. We have the Employment Act of 2007. We have the Employment and Labor Relations Court Act. We have the Labor Institutions Act, and we have the Occupation Safety and Health Act. I want us to look at types of employment in Kenya. Types of employment in Kenya. There are various types of employment in Kenya, and I was saying it's important before you sign any contract, you get to know the type of employment in which you are getting yourself in. So I'll start with the casual employment. Section 2 of the Employment Act states that a casual employee is a person whose term is paid at the end of each day and whose terms of engagement are not more than 24 hours. This is very common with us in Kenya, especially those people who practice farming, where you get somebody, they work for you for one day, you pay them, and that contract is terminated. Then we have the fixed term contract. A fixed term contract, this has a specified period of employment or defined as, which define the work and task. They may be terminated on account of misconduct or end of the period, or by notice, or by other lawful reason. In the case of Samuel Chacha Mwita versus the Kenya Medical Research Institute, it's a 2014 case. The court held that a fixed term contract entered into for a period of 6 months with a contractual stipulation that the contract will automatically terminate on the expiring date. The fixed term contract will naturally terminate on such expiry date. This means the notice of termination of a fixed term contract is inbuilt in the contract, so the issue of notices does not come in. Then we have a probation contract. A probation contract goes for a period of 6 months, and it can be renewed for a further 6 months, because the Employment Act section 42 provides that a probation period can go for a term of 1 year. However, where a party wants to terminate a probation contract, either the employer or the employee, they are supposed to give a notice of 7 days, or they pay 7 days in lieu of notice. Then we have oral or verbal contracts. These are contract of employment or service where the terms are not reduced into writing. In Kenya, it is most commonly with the house girls. Many of us have house help at home, and when we employ them, we don't give them a written contract. However, it is paramount to note that The burden of proving or disapproving an alleged term of employment falls on the employer. That is provided for under Section 10, subsection 7 of the Employment Act. However, Section 9 of the Employment Act stipulates that an employment contract which runs for 3 months and above should be reduced into writing.